Hey guys, I'm going to give Marlon a couple minutes to jump on. I've done it this way before, so I'm not quite certain. Hopefully he can jump on. Let's add a person, guest request on. All right, yeah, it's sent. We'll see. So I wanted to bring him on because I had learned so much about him, or not about him, but through him. And it just made me want you guys to learn from him too. Let me try this. I'm having a little bit of difficulty getting him on. It does say he just has to accept it. Once he accepts it, then we're good. We're golden. Can you guys hear me? Guest request. Allow viewers to request to join your video. Yeah. Jump on, guys. So as we're waiting for him to jump on, I wanted to just talk about the straw man and kind of how I came across it. So you guys know I like to, hey Rhonda, you guys know I like to talk about the straw man. Rhonda, can you hear me okay? Will you verify me? When I came across the straw man, I was very much down the rabbit hole of Jasara Nasara and that kind of thing. So I was just wondering, like, where would they get that money from? Where would that come from? Where would any of this, be brought from? Because everybody kept talking about like money and trusts and all these things. Is he on? So I was just curious about it because I'm like, okay, well, what is this Meet Your Straw Man? So there is a book out. You can get it on Amazon. It's called Meet Your Straw Man. And I think it's like $7, less than $7. I just need him to accept it. Ooh, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. It says, yeah. Rhonda, do you want to be a guest? I can add you. Send invite.
There wasn't a scope follow-up appointment
Hold on.
Rhonda, are you supposed to be? You're not supposed to be on here.
No. Thank you, though.
I
I'm just listening. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's funny. Change to viewer. Remove guest. It's gonna be a minute, y'all. I did. He's ready to go. He just has to accept it. But anyway, so I had started looking into. You keep freezing. I'm freezing. Shit. Okay. I'm sorry. Are you able to get on, Marlon? Are you watching? I already requested you. But anyway, when I started talking about the Jasara Nasara thing, and it was odd to me because I was just wondering where the money would come from. Once this rolls out, where would they get it? Because at this point, the banks are, they don't have money. So where are we getting that from? Well, then I love TikTok, and I came across a video. It's, if you just look up #strawman, a lot of content creators will pop up, but there's a real pretty black girl that has natural hair, and she usually has like runes drawn on her forehead, and she talks a lot about the straw man and that kind of thing. So anyway, I don't know, am I breaking up? Am I freezing? Marlon said I was freezing. He's actually communicating with me. Jump on. I sent the request. But then it sparked my interest so much because I was just like, where would this come from? Then I came across her, and she said that we're the banks. And then she threw in this UCC code, and I'm like, wait a minute, but what are these codes? And she kept saying, these codes are going to back you. These codes are for you. These codes are set in place to, to protect you. So one of the ones that I thought was interesting to me is 15 USC 1692F, and there's no such thing as foreclosures. So I researched that. I went on Cornell University, and I'm like, that really says that. Like you can't deny laws, and it's coming from Cornell University. So you can't even go, oh well, that's just a little a crap site or whatever, right? And I'm like, no, these are real. So if there's no foreclosure, how is there no foreclosure? There's a lot of people that have been in foreclosure. There's a lot of people that have had late payments. So even with those late payments, where does it all go back to? Who's telling people about the late payments? Well, that would be the credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, that kind of TransUnion. And so I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute, they're on the outside of the government. They're actually just a company. They're just a company that is reporting your stuff. So like your social and that kind of thing. So I'm thinking, well, then where did they get my stuff from? Where would they have gotten that information? Well, they bought it from the bank. So say that you buy a house, you go into foreclosure, right? This outside company now is buying your information. This outside company now has your name, social, all the stuff. So I'm like, okay, so then what if then now a second little parent company comes along? It's just a company. It's not even part of the government. Like it's not a thing, because there's no such thing as foreclosures. So I think when I started realizing no such thing as late payments, 15 USC 1681A, 2A, and I. And I'm like, the further I got down this rabbit hole, the more I was shook, and I'm like, even last night, I got into a tussle with some guy. I think he was like a financial attorney or something. I don't know what he was. He had a certificate, and he was telling this gentleman in the chat that, Marlon, where are you, my guy? He was telling the guy in the chat that if he files for foreclosure, there's only some, I think he was an attorney, because he was telling them like corporate, the corporate side of things, right? So he was like, well, you could do a bankruptcy, there's this or this, or, like giving options. Well, then I came in there and I was like, but what are your thoughts on 15 USC 1692F? Because there's no such thing as a foreclosure, sir. And then he was like, Libra moon, there's no such thing. And I said, yeah, there's no such thing. That's the law. That's a USC. That's a US code right there. Or if you have a UCC, it's a uniform commercial code. So all of these codes are set in place. So when I said that, he was like, no, there's no such thing. I was like, sir, I got it off of Cornell University. It's a code for us to use. So I understand, like you're having to respect your jurisdiction. I think he was an attorney. You're having to respect your jurisdiction as an attorney behind the bar, which is the British bar. B is British bar. And I understand that you're having to do that, but I don't know. They upheld an oath too at that point. So there's no such thing as a foreclosure. Why don't you tell your clients that? Why don't you tell your clients to make up a cover sheet explaining to this corporate, this like company that is fraudulently using your social, fraudulently deceptive forms, all this stuff. There's codes for that. So I understand that you have to hold up your jurisdiction and that kind of stuff. And then he goes, oh, you guys, do you want me just to block Libra Moon? And I was like, no need, I'll see my way out. Because I get it now, because there's one side that they do. Like I actually emailed my attorney all of this, and she's real good about getting right back, and she didn't get back with me at all on this, because she can't. She swore an oath, she did all her things, she is you know, and she couldn't. Doing it this way is the private side of things. Where is you? That was horrible English. Where is you? Marlon. Where are you, my guy? I mean, it's on. So anyway, I'm trying to get him on. I did request him to be with me. Check your comments. I don't see comments. You have to add me to the live. It doesn't say. I have no comments. Oh, I'm frozen. Do I look crazy? You're good now. I don't see where I can. You have to add me to the live. I did. Okay. Share broadcast. Marlon, I sent it. This is why I don't fuck with Facebook. I don't know what else to do. It says allow viewers to request to. Oh, there you go. Boom. Yay. Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
I figured it out.
Yay.
I figured it out. Hold on one second. Hold on.
I'm new. Yay, this is exciting. Good. I was tripping out there for a little bit, Marlon. I was like, I even told my group, I was like, I don't know. I messaged him last night. I hadn't heard from him. I'm freaking out. I really want you guys to hear
Yeah,
him.
I had to figure out how to do this. Then I saw the message on there. So my apologies.
Yeah, so I'll start over. This is Coach MT. He actually lives in Georgia, which I love because I do too. And I just wanted to kind of follow along with somebody that lived in the same state as I, you know, because just because some things in the USC codes will change. Now, he is one of the first people that I came across. And Coach, I tell you, I was on your platform, your YouTube channel, probably for like 2 or 3 days, video after video after video, because I was like, he is making so much sense to me. So that's, you know, I kind of became addicted to that. But I do want you to explain a little bit of the Fila University and what you've set up. I think it's great. It's a great educational tool to consider. So take it away.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, you're amazing.
I appreciate it. I'm just I just found some good information. I actually found it on accident, but
Same.
I was working people's credit, and I found the codes, and I was like, oh, here's where the answers are.
Right.
And so it fell like that. So, but what I've set up in the university is just a way for you all to learn this process. First of all, to let you know that it's real, to let you know that it's for you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, I'll say a lot of people believe that this is that conspiracy theory stuff. And the reason they give it that term is to keep you away from it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
They give it those scary terms.
Yeah.
So that you won't look into it. Okay. But my dad taught me different. He said, whatever they tell you not to pay attention to or you don't need, that's the stuff you need. And so I just became curious. But in there, we just have training on, how to discharge debt, how to, if you want to go private. And we're always adding new pieces to the process, because one thing I learned is that everything is assumed until you express it. Everything, even your quote unquote U.S. citizenship is assumed. And then until you express it, either through a trust or through documents, and they get recorded or they're on file, then you are what they tell you are. But when you express it, then that's who you become. All right. And that's what I learned in this entire process. So we just have a lot of coaching, training. We have several members that offer some great services. Mr. Trotter offers a really great training, and then Brother Bizarro he does all the trust and documents and injunctions and, you know, those paperworks you have on file. I'm a private attorney general, and I'm also a CFO of a bank as well too.
Nice.
And I'm about to be a judge.
Okay.
But it's amazing information, you know, and being in this community, people find me. They say, "Hey, coach, there's some stuff that I think would be good for you and the people." And I look into it, learn it, and if I believe it's something we can help, I'll make a whole process out of it. But it's been awesome to be in this position.
Yeah, and I think when everybody starts to kind of wake up to it and realize like we do have rights and we do have these laws and codes that are put in place for us, it kind of, my biggest thing was people are scared of it. You know, people are scared to try it, I guess, you know, and you have to put the fear away, you know, and the more that you study, the more knowledgeable that you'll, you know, because we weren't taught this. We weren't,
Not
you
at
know,
all.
no.
Not
So
at all.
you have to make that move, that intention to go down that rabbit hole to look for this stuff. There was times some of your videos I'd have to listen to twice because you would use a word that I was not familiar with, you know, even as far as some of the codes with us being the creditors, you know. So I really had to make notes because it was a new way of thinking for me too, you know, and then I wanted to just stand on the toppest of the mountains and tell everybody, but I was like, I don't know what I'm telling you, but it's really cool, you know. So
awesome.
But the Bills of Exchange Act is a couple of the videos that you have, that if you'd like to go over some of those, you know, you're more than welcome to do that, like the bill paying coupons and stuff.
Yeah, well, the bills of exchange, I'm not gonna lie, you know, a lot of this information I'm learning from others. You know, I'll see what information is out there, and then I'll do an in-depth study on it and say, okay, does this apply to, you know, what I'm sharing? So a lot of people just don't know what to read, and then when they find out what to read and they don't read it. So I was looking into bills, like what is a bill? You know, what is a bill? What is a presentment? What is a coupon? And I was watching someone's video and I was like, oh man, let me look that up. So I looked at the Bills of Exchange Act. Everything in the Bills of Exchange Act is what you do on the dang bill. I was like, oh my gosh. I read the whole thing. I said, even there's a thing in there called figures and words. All right, figures and words, and it says on there figures and words. Let me see if I can find this, because I do have this up all the time.
And it's just the way they write things, we think
it's just the way things are written. So
yeah.
Figures and words says whatever you write on the bill, if there's a discrepancy between the number and the words, whatever the words are written is what's payable. Okay? So I was like, wow. So even if you put $10 on the check, let's say you write a check to somebody, you put $10, but you write $30, the check will pay $30.
Yep.
It won't pay 10. It'll pay whatever's written because that's what's expressed.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God. And then I was looking into notice of dishonor.
Yep.
Right? The drawer, or whoever the endorser is, you're the drawer, we're the drawers, have to, whoever you send it to, if they don't accept it, they have to send you a notice of dishonor. I'm like, dadgummit. So I was like, they're telling you what to do with these bills. And it's you know, they go through everything, checks and all that kind of stuff, but I just kind of focus on what the bill said. And then bills and coupons are the obligation of the United States. You know,
it's an instrument. It's literally an instrument.
And it tells you how to make it a negotiable instrument. Put pay to bear or order or pay. It tells you what to do. Okay, so I just started putting that information out there to let individuals know that, you know, we're working hard for no reasons. Right? They tell you to go to college to get a job, and then you get a job to pay for college your whole life.
And some of the colleges are actually fraudulent.
Oh yeah, definitely. I used to work for a for-profit college. It was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
They was gouging these people for, you know,
Dumb
penmanship,
things.
a penmanship degree, and it was horrible. So my goal is just to get the information out. Now, a lot of stuff you can't share in the public. I'm just gonna let you know because it's those things where you know, I don't want to get my channel shut down.
Right.
So that's why I was like, come. But if you're inside, you'll get all the good stuff. Right?
Yeah.
If you're a member, you'll get access to that stuff. But I'm just, you know, I'm sharing testimonials. I'm sharing
I've
information. You
seen
know,
them.
just to let people know, you know, that this is for us, and we're the reasons all this is going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that we the people, yeah, they're borrowing from us, and you know, we became collateral. So we're
Mm-hmm.
just showing you how to get that cleared up.
That's awesome. And they can find you at Coach MT 4000 on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. Do you have other platforms? That's your
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm on
Oh,
Instagram too. Same thing, Coach
okay.
MT
Okay.
4000. I'm on TikTok as Coach MT. I think I'm just Coach MT or Coach. I can't remember what I did on TikTok. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not a big tweeter.
Tweeter. I'm
Um,
not a tweeter.
I'm not a tweeter, but yeah, Instagram, Facebook. You know, I have the lifestyle augmenters, financial impact and lifestyle augmenters Facebook group. We're going to do a free webinar in there as well too,
It's
on
exciting.
just some information for people.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you just look up Coach MT or Coach MT 4000, you'll find me on all the
All
platforms.
the platforms. That's
Mm-hmm.
exciting. So the proof of a straw man, I think it's funny because I work in a salon. So when clients come through, I try to drop little breadcrumbs for them, like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
did you know that you're a millionaire? And they're like, shut up, Lee, you know? And I'm like, no,
Right,
for real, like you
right,
really
right.
are, you know? And so, you know, usually they come every 4 weeks, 6 weeks. So I've had some time with them. And so now it's like that they do ask questions like, well, what do you mean you're straw man? And I'm like, well, you had a fake entity created when you were born too, because your name is in all capital letters on
Mm-hmm.
passport, driver's license. Like, I'm breaking this all down. And it does make sense because they can visually see that their name is all, you know, like what I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
is factual. But
Correct.
where I get hung up at is people will instantly ask, well, have you done this? And I'm like, well, I have, but I'm in the process of asking for all of like Verizon and AT&T. I'm asking for those paper copies so that I can endorse the back of it and then send it back and typically write a cover letter of sorts, you know, to accompany that, you know, that payment coupon.
Mm-hmm.
So is that right? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Um, well, yeah, when you're doing the coupon, what you're doing is a counterclaim because every bill is an offer to contract. All
Mm-hmm.
right. I have someone's bill right here. I'm helping them work on, but this is every time you get this is an offer to contract. So if you go back to the Bills of Exchange Act, when you're doing your action, you're doing your counterclaim. All right, your counterclaim for set off because that number on there is a positive number. There's a credit due to you. All right, the credit due to you, what we call your principal account. Your principal account is your estate, your straw man, whatever you want to call it, your all caps name. So that application that you filled out for the loan, because it's all loans, all right? Credit card, mortgage, car, utility bill, cell phone bill, all of it, all of it. When that application is approved, that application then becomes Federal Reserve notes for the amount that the application is written for.
Mm-hmm.
And then that company then changes it in for lawful money. That's why they can pay these CEOs millions of dollars, right? So when you're endorsing a bill, what you're telling them to do is apply that credit to my principal's account
Mm-hmm.
because you've already gotten the money. So just apply that credit. So when you write pay to bearer or to order on there, you write the word accepted,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or accepted for value. You know, value means valuable consideration. Accepted means that, you know, it was received because now you're the holder of that bill, okay? And then you write the amount that you want to have payable in words, and then you sign on the back, All right, or you endorse.
I didn't do any of that.
Yeah, you do it on the back. Also,
well, I did sign the back,
yeah,
but I didn't do all of that on the front. I just
you have to
said,
put that on the
please
front.
credit this to my account, and then I have a cover letter.
You put that in your instruction letter.
Yeah.
All right. When you tell them to credit the account, you put that in your instruction letter. But on the bill, you write, what makes it a negotiable instrument is when you write pay to bearer or to order. All right. Now, if it's late, you want to put pay to bearer or to order, and you want to put the words pay on demand. So if it's after the due date, you put pay on demand, and then you cross the date out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then you put the word accepted on the bill, on the coupon.
On it.
Yep. And then you write the amount that you want payable in words. So if it's $101, you put 101, and then you put this, let's say it's 58 cents, 58 over $100, just like you would on a check.
Mm-hmm. You would write it out just as like you
figures and words. Like if you go to Command F, let me see, figures and words. Hold on 1 second.
You're fine.
All right, so you write it out in words.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need the whole thing. I got this.
Yeah, I went down to Verizon and had asked to get it off of paper copy so that I could do this. Yeah, because in our heads, we're thinking, oh, it's automatic draft. It's convenient. No, they did that on purpose, because we don't know any better.
Yeah, it's like talking about we saving trees.
Yeah.
I'm like, get out of here.
Right? Not playing that.
Yeah, so, but and then on the back, you want to put, on the back, you want to put your last name, full
Go ahead.
colon, first name, hyphen, middle initial, comma, Benny. Benny means beneficiary.
I didn't do that.
Yep.
I just signed it as a check.
Nope.
And then I wrote without prejudice and in good faith.
It's
Don't
like
come get me and lock me up.
It's like a check. It's not a check. Okay. It's
okay.
like a check.
I'll have to get another one.
Okay. So it's not a check. It's like a check.
So
you want to treat it like a check.
Typically, we would write our beneficiary name first, hyphen, middle.
Listen, you can either do first, hyphen, middle, full colon, last. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you have the hyphens in there.
Okay. Because I just wrote my name like normal. So I'll just add a hyphen and then a semicolon. And do I have to write beneficiary?
Yeah, put beneficiary because you are. You're the beneficiary in that case on that.
I was about to send all of this off yesterday. So see, I'm glad I didn't. It was raining all yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
See, good stuff. You guys will get stuck on. I'm telling you, it was like 3 days on your platform, snooping around. I scrolled all the way down to the bottom.
Okay, here's the one, figures and words. It says where the sum. Let me see. Can I turn my camera around? All right, right there, where the sum payable by bill is expressed in words and also in figures, and there's a discrepancy between the two. The sum denoted by words is the amount payable. So that's why you write the words on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It should look like this. I don't want to show anybody's personal information. Okay, this is one for a business. It should look like that. See the payable to bearer to order, pay on demand. See the word accepted.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then on the back.
Can it see where the accepted says and all the stuff, like all the goodies at the bottom? Is there a particular place that we have to put that, or is just anywhere on?
I just make sure it's on there. Yeah, okay. I put the pay to bearer at the bottom left, and paid the man. I put the words in the middle, and I put accepted at top.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yay. And then a little bit of just your knowledge on the Strawman, and I guess how it came about and that kind of stuff. Because I think that you break it down easy for somebody to understand, where it's not over their heads. It didn't go over mine too often.
Well, the the straw man concept has it was in court for a long time. You know, it's the person that nobody knew about but did all the talking. And the straw man used to actually have straw in the socks, so people knew who the straw man was. Okay, it's some old school stuff that I had read upon, but the reason it's called a straw man is because, you know, if you look at a scarecrow has, you know, no brain, no mouth, no. They just, you know, they represent a human. That's why they put the straw man in the field, so when the animals see something that looks like a human, it scares them off. Okay, all right, but that scarecrow does a lot of work without saying nothing, right? A lot of work for you. So that's where that term straw man came from. But it's really your estate. Okay? It's really your estate. And it was created because humans cannot be taxed. You can't tax a human. All right. But you can tax a commercial entity, right? So in order for us to be taxed and now have these fees and things of that nature charged to us, a fictitious entity had to be created that represented us, our straw man, our scarecrow. Okay. Same thing happens in voodoo, but you know, that's a different story. So
that's a different episode.
Yeah, that's a different episode. I know you probably, I saw you
right,
smile,
I did.
So you know a little something about that. Okay.
Which is funny because then there's also a tin man, and the TIN is very important to us too, like the treasury tin, or you know, like that kind of thing. So
and that's what it means. That's what the TIN means. That's what the tin man came. I mean, if you read in the Redemption Man, it kind of gives you that Wizard of Oz story, okay, which I thought was very interesting. So
they put it right in front of our face.
Right in front of our face. Like in plain sight. And when I read that, I said, God dog it.
Right.
So
I've been bamboozled.
So now you have this fictitious name that can be charged. All right. You know, birth certificate fees and driver's license fees, and you need license for this and things of that nature. And that's where birth certificates came from. You know, it's actually BERTH. All right, because you know, we were birthed out of the water. Same thing happens with the boat, right? When the boat comes from sea, it now becomes a commercial entity. The same thing with us. You know, we came out of our mother's water, so now we have this birth certificate. So now,
and America is under admiralty law, so everything's water. Yeah,
everything.
We're dead at
Everything's
sea.
Water. Everything, we're dead. Even if you read the Cestui Que Vie Act of 1666, it talks about how to go from dead to live. All right. I think I'm going to do a video for that on YouTube next, because it's in our coupon training. The only thing they don't get is how to write the letters. But so now, anytime something happens, everything is a commercial. Everything's commercial. Everything's a contract. All right. And every time a commercial entity comes to you, they're offering you the contract. Same thing if you get pulled over by the police.
That's
the police is do you understand? When you say yes, that contract
that
is
locks
done.
you in.
You are ass out, as my friends used to say when I was growing up. So, but if you don't accept that contract, right? As a matter of fact, I have something that I learned. I wrote it down. Let me give it to you all. Oh, geez, where is it? Here we go. On that traffic ticket, it should say your offer to contract is not accepted while traveling in my private automobile. You operate under Title 18, Section 241 and 242 as a conspiracy to deprive me my rights under the color of law. Write that right on the ticket and send it back in. Right? So it's an offer to contract. And you saying, I'm not doing that. Here you go.
But a lot of times the police officers are not educated on this kind of stuff, and it's no fault to them. They've been taught what they were supposed to be taught. So when you have a person that's coming as a natural citizen, I don't want to say citizen because citizen means slave, but a natural being under God's law, under common, they don't know what to do with it, you know?
Yeah, because they're part. They made an oath to that
Mm-hmm.
to that system. Now you don't fuss with the police on the side of the road. You take a ticket, you go on about your business, and then you send it back in later on. But it's you know, they made an oath to that information, and you know, they've been sold that bill of goods. You know, hey, we're gonna pay you to do this, and they don't do anything with the law. They just looking to beat some butt. Because you know that's what they do, that badge does them. But if they run to individuals like me and you, and they don't honor what we know, then they're in trouble when you get to court.
Yep.
Especially when you have your foreign trust set up, everything you have is trust property, and then you go to court and you know you show them that your rights weren't reserved, right? That's why
that's a UCC code too.
This is why that's why I hand them this. It says,
what is it?
Right on the back. Yeah, it says, this is a lawful notice of warning. I reserve my rights not to be compelled to enter into any contract that I did not enter to knowingly, voluntarily, and willingly. And furthermore, I do not accept the benefit of any unrevealed contract or commercial agreement. UCC 1-308. Violation of my rights is assessed at $250,000 per occurrence, or every 15 minutes I'm delayed, detained, or questioned.
Yep. 3108, from what I've gathered from like pretty much all the content creators are saying, put that on there. That is your right.
On there.
Every
time. Put that on there.
Yep.
Every single time. And so absolutely. And but it just takes, you know, time and you know, the courage to get into the information and read and apply it, and knowing that, you know, what you're doing without a shadow of a doubt is the right thing.
Is right. Yeah. Cause that's the biggest question. Have you done that? Have you done this? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm in the process of starting, you know, to be able to send the bill, because we think it's a bill, the coupon back. So and then creating my estate, my trust, you know, I went on IRS and declared myself dead, and then scooped myself back up, and now I'm in an estate. And then I ended up I do have an EIN number. So I feel like it's just claiming yourself, because everybody else is using all your stuff. Even GMEI utilities, same thing. I think I learned that from you, but auditing the people, you know, like GMEI. And so some of the things I have done, but as far as the coupons and that kind of thing, I'm still working on those. But it's exciting. It's exciting.
Absolutely.
It is, because you find another UCC and you're like, hell yeah, put that in there too, you know? Yeah,
especially when you're writing your letter of instruction. It's great to have places where you can cite where that information comes from. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't cite until my second letter when I'm doing second notice opportunity to cure. Then I'll put a lot of codes in that letter to say, okay, well, here's where I'm getting it from.
Yeah.
You know, since you don't want to apply this information to it, you know, it's not me. Like, you all have to follow this. You all have to follow the business exchange. You all have to follow these uniform commercial codes. And I'm just telling you what you should be doing. Right now, I'm learning how to do summary judgments. So if they don't apply what you're asking to apply, then you can go get a summary judgment from the court. Like, hey, I'm doing what it says to do with this bill. I'm following the business exchange. You know, and there isn't a judge that's going to go on record stating that they're not going to go. Yeah, that's not true. Or, you know, so you're telling me that the Business Exchange Act that was passed, you're going to say that's not true,
right?
And who's going to go on record saying that? So I'm learning how to do summary judgments right now, and then that's like the final step, because sometimes you will have to go the full court route to get them involved, but not all the time.
Kind of scary. That's kind of scary though, because you're like, oh, I know this and I've studied the hell out of this, but they're gonna do things to try to intimidate you.
Yeah, they are.
You know, so but because they're protecting that, but now that you
that
see
institution,
things, correct.
And now that our eyes are being opened, you know, they said, well, we can't focus on that. Let's try to focus on this, because they're trying to find a different argument, right?
Yeah.
Outside of what you're asking them to do. But we're having a court procedure class here soon.
Oh, good.
On, you know, how to you know, handle yourself in court, and one of our members is going to be putting that class on. So from there, you know, I'll be giving bits and pieces. Of course, I'm going to encourage people to take the course so they can know for themselves. But there will be some pieces in the DIY that individuals can use to understand summary judgment. I'm also working with another group that this is what they do. So I'm in like 3 different groups understanding court procedure, and then take that information I've learned and put it into a way to say, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3. Hold on. Can you send me on Jeans? Anyway, to know the steps you need to take in order to, you know, get what you need from court.
Now, can you tell the people how to get to your class and how to get to your information? How do you do that?
There's if you go to my Instagram page, in the bio, there's a link. It's going to take you right to my site. All right. And when you get there, it's going to it'll be like a welcome process. You'll get a text and an email from somebody on our team, and just start communicating with them. You'll be able to set up a free complimentary call, which I know you've been on one of those. We still have those, and you can get some questions answered. We introduce the program to you, and you decide whether or not you want to get involved. But everywhere on my YouTube, in the description area, there's a link, and there's always ways to reach me. My email's on there. It goes right to my personal email. I'm answering emails all. Matter of fact, I was doing that before we got on here. Just answering emails and helping people get to that next part.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Because I feel like you covered a lot of things.
Yeah. I did. I mean, I don't have much else to share. There's a lot.
There is a lot.
A whole lot.
So I guess if I had to tell somebody where to start, I would say meet your Strawman.
Yes, I would. Meet your Strawman and the UCC connection.
It's
Also,
an easy read. It's not
an easy read.
Yeah.
Also,
and it's like $8 on Amazon.
Oh, it's $8 now. When I got it, it was like $5.
Yes, I just
Also,
round up. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
All right, the 0%. Those 3 books I suggest you start with. Meet Your Strawman, whatever you want to know, the UCC connection, and the 0%. All right, those. Now, there's a lot of the books, Redemption Manual, which gives you a lot of the history of how we got to where we are. Okay. There's another book called Proof There Is a Strawman. All right, it looks like this. Okay, and then we have the Redemption Manual.
And you guys,
these books are going to give
when he's holding
you a lot
that
of
up,
history.
When he's holding that up, you can screenshot it. That way you can have it.
Yep, Redemption Manual. Now, these books give you a lot of history on how we got to where we are. In this book, it gives you remedy, okay? And then they have a couple series. And then in this book, it starts to show you how to use that remedy, okay? Thick books, but it's worth it. I'm telling you,
worth it.
I'm telling you, they write them thick because they know people ain't going to read them. I'm just telling you. It's written that way.
On purpose.
Oh, man. 500 pages? Yes, all 500. You better get to reading. Okay? So, but the information you're going to know, it's going to blow you away. Absolutely going to blow you away. So if there's any way to get started, I can tell you those books, and then get with a group of people that are growing, that are working together on this process. I know we have a Telegram group where people are growing together and people are offering a lot of assistance.
And proof too, if they can kind of walk you through. Yeah,
absolutely.
They walk you through it and show me how to put this, because even with the beneficiary name, I felt like I said that wrong. Beneficiary name. It was so odd to me because we don't see it with the hyphen and all the hoorahs and the beneficiary, and I was like,
nope,
that's crazy.
We don't.
And I listened to another content creator that had like a stamp, and you're supposed to put a stamp and you put this and this above it and write your name across it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So there's a lot to learn.
there's a lot to learn, many different steps that you can take in the process, right? But what find that, I don't want to say that one path, but that one process, and just go to completion. All right, you don't have to do 5,000 different ways of a process, right?
Mm-hmm.
All that looks good. All that looks good because everything looks good. Everything when you first get started looks really, really, really good. But there's only like 2 or 3 people that I kind of follow in the process, and then okay, how do you get all the way to completion? So you don't have to do like 10,000 different things because it all looks good. Now you're confused. Now you have what we call paralysis analysis. Like, oh my God, you got all this information. What did I do? So I just kind of figure out what I want to do. Okay, how do we discharge debt? What are all those steps for that? So then I'm learning information on there. Then I start learning about trust. Okay, what does that mean? I learned about injunctions. What is all of that? And so I just did it in pieces. And over time, now you have this entire process.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I did talk to, there was a local dealership here, car dealership, and I went and talked to the financing guy. Of course, he didn't know what I was talking about. So, of course he didn't. So then I left him, and then I came home, did some more research on how to purchase a car, not purchase, but basically get a free car. And then I called, and I went over the stuff. I was using the terms that I needed to use, that kind of stuff. Again, he's lost. So then I just started breaking down, the straw man, and this is what it is. So I'm kind of starting at ground zero. I did give him your information, coach, because I'm like, okay, look, there's a guy. He's in Georgia. He'll tell you. Here's where it's at. Because I'm thinking I'm such a baby at this game right now that I'm still learning from people, so things, it's like you said earlier, things are just kind of like, I have all this information. How do I put it into
so what
a structure?
what did you tell him? What did you explain to him?
I told him, I gave him UCC codes. I was like, well, I said I wanted to write a cover letter to you guys because I don't want you to run my social. And he was like, well, everybody runs their social here, and that's how we figure out credit. And da, da, da. And I'm like, I understand that, sir, but UCC code da, 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 is saying that you can't. So I said, I don't know if, like, I said, I'm sure when you get this information, you're not going to understand it. And I said, and it's no fault of yours. I said, which then you're going to take it to your manager, which then your manager is going to give it to probably the attorney to make sure that what I'm saying is right. It has to go through certain hands because now I just gave you an instrument. You have
Correct.
to do something in a period of time to my liking. And then he kept saying, he was saying something about that I'm not the creditor, that he has financial people. And I'm like, no, sir. And then I rattle off that I'm the creditor. So I think it's just also educating other people. So I gave him a plethora of information, and he's down the rabbit holes. So,
Yeah. So when it comes to making the purchase, you want to do it more through the trust side. Okay. What I mean by that is, if you want to go down with let's say a 1099A, right? You have to do it more through the trust side, like the Cestui Que Vie Trust, and to get those credits moved from the trust over there. Now, in order to do that, you have to have access to the trust, and the best way to do that is through a UCC-1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, doing the whole what they call secure party credit process, and then putting the U.S. Treasury on notice that you are now claiming back your estate. All right, that's in the Cestui Que Vie Act, part number 3. All right, if you can prove that you are now a live human, everything is what we call revested, and that means returned back to the original. All right, with profit and interest. Okay, so that's why you do that. And then when you go to the dealership and you are doing, all the paperwork, 1099A, the OID, the 1096, the 1040B, all that kind of stuff, and they file it. Now it's known where to send the credits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's known where to send the credits so that company can get credited for that purchase.
But wouldn't I send a voucher though, the 1040B voucher, as if, and then right?
All that goes together.
Okay.
All that
Okay.
goes together.
Yeah.
All right. All that goes together. Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, but the financing guy, he didn't know. And I was like, they're double dipping into your, and he kind of barked back at me a little bit because I said, well, the company, because I'm using his company, it was Legacy Ford here in McDonough. And I said, well, the company's already getting paid. And then you have an outside entity, which is the financing company, who is also getting paid, but we don't really have to pay them. and he was like, no, we always go through the financing. And I'm like, no, like, you don't actually have to do that. The company's already been paid, just like with your mortgage. It's the same thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so I don't go down to explain that to them. My what I'm getting done is the foreign trust. When you get your foreign trust done, you don't have to do any of that stuff because your foreign trust already has its own promissory note that you can discharge against and make purchases with.
Okay. I haven't done that yet. I only did the creating the estate for myself at this point. I want to do SPC. I think that's my next step in doing that, to set that up.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll end up going through FILA to do that.
Yeah. We actually use solvent filing solutions for those that want to get it done, because they do a pretty good job of putting the whole process together. Now, we have a DIY piece in there where we took every document and did a video on it and typed it up out of the back of the redemption manual. Like, we had somebody type all these letters up. Oh my gosh, that took like a month to do. But you still have access to that information, and then we're walking you through how to file it, where to send it,
Mm-hmm.
where do the documents go. That way you can have all that information.
Yeah. And then start your files and all the things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Because it's important to also keep track of your filings, because now you're acting as your own bank.
Mm-hmm.
You're acting as your, like if you're doing things through, what is it, CFPB
Mm-hmm.
or something, whatever that is.
Yeah, CFPB, yeah.
Yeah, you need to make sure that you're keeping track. So it's almost like get yourself a ledger and then start to keep track of what you're, I was going to say rebuking, what you're what you're trying to get rid of, and
same thing.
Yeah,
same thing.
right. And then keep track of what you're doing. Now, I don't want to say in case you get snagged, because I guess you could get snagged, but as long as you're doing everything by the book and as long as you're doing
it correctly, you'll be good.
Yeah. So I would start with a ledger and, just keep track of like when you do things, because sometimes there's going to be a certain time frame, especially if it's, like if you create a document, an instrument, and then you give it to the next person, it's this person to person.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be like a set days that they have to respond to you. And then the same thing whenever like a 1099A filing, same thing. It's going to be, there's going to, have to be some days and stuff like that between it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Now, I did a 1099A online with my AT&T, and then I think there was another one. And then I sent off a couple packets to another creator. I think you and I had talked about that, to be my trustee and do everything, the 1099As and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't heard back anything, but I know that takes a while, a couple months.
Now, I did find someone else that may be able to do what we're looking for. So I'm guinea pigging it right now. Okay. So someone who's willing to be a trustee, knows how to do this process. I've worked with her before on something else. Okay. So I'm guinea pigging the process right now. It has to do with the 1099A. Okay. So as soon as I get some proof, now she showed me proof of someone else.
Okay.
All right. I was like, oh snap.
Right.
So I went ahead and, paid the fee or what have you. And I got to get some stuff over to her right now when we get off this Zoom, but I'll get off this call. But she said it takes about 9 weeks.
Okay.
Listen, man, don't let this happen. Don't let me figure out how this actually works. It's I'm gonna have to hide. I'm gonna have to hide in the cave somewhere for real,
right?
because it's going down. But I found someone who's willing to who knows how to do the trustee part, right? The correct way, so that we can get what we're looking for. So
yeah, I just still wonder why it takes so long. Like, I understand there's probably
when you're dealing with the IRS, right? When they owe you money, they take forever. When you owe them, they're kicking your door in, right? When they say, "Oh, you owe the IRS," now here they come kicking in the door, but you trying to get your refund, and they take it forever, talking about we got to make all these changes. It's horrible. It's horrible.
They're horrible.
Mm-hmm.
They're horrible.
But we're working on that. Another thing is that when you're getting your foreign trust done, you can end up on the what we call the no tax list for all your businesses, all your DBAs. So I just sent off of that as well too, so that you're on that no tax list for any entity, including your estate. So it's pretty exciting. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
It's very exciting. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking to be the guinea pig, and then when we get it figured out, right? Then it's like, okay, here's what you do next. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking to do is get it figured out, and then put it in a way for people to digest, so that at least I know the steps to go or what route to go in for this process.
Yeah. To take the next little step, because I do think that the process, I've heard that, like, if you don't do the process properly, they'll kick it out. It's almost like they're looking for flaws, or they're looking for just to be able to go, nope, not today.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's exactly what's going on, but it's all good.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on with me today. Again, this is Coach MT 4000 off of YouTube. I was quite addicted to him for a while. It was daily. It was either on my phone, and like if I'm at work, I'll put my earphones in and I'm buzzing around or whatever, but I'm still listening, or my iPad, something, just to take in the content, just to take in even the verbiage. The verbiage has changed. So, once we get acclimated and things become more fluent to us in our ears, then we know how to take back our power.
Correct.
So I appreciate you coming on. I hope you do it again with me. I hope this is exciting.
I appreciate you and inviting me on. So just let me know next time you wanted to jump on, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good day. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay.